Hey guys, we're continuing along. This is our second lesson now in classical gas. We've worked through the introduction and this first theme section, which is played 4 times with 3 different endings. Ending 1, ending 2 and 3 are the same, and then ending 4 moves us into another transitional section. We'll go into that transitional section today and perhaps take a look at the next little bit as well. What we're trying to do here is not just learn and memorize a tab, although that's important, but we want to see the chords, the progressions that we're looking at, and try to find some repetitive themes that when we see them, we'll look ahead and remember them and be able to apply what we've learned in earlier sections to later sections. This is the kind of thing that you wouldn't know when you're just practicing 1 bar or 2 bars or getting used to them, but they're things you would see over many iterations of the whole song. It's kind of a catch-22. Until you know where all these things show up in the song, you're not going to know what kind of attention to pay to them earlier. But if you haven't worked on them hard earlier, you're not going to be good enough at them to recognize them later on. That's why it's very helpful sometimes to have somebody who knows the song and can point these things out. Let's run through one more time from the beginning a little bit slowly and see how things are coming together. So we've got A minor, little broken arpeggio on G, A minor again, hammer-ons, G again, another E with triplets, quick 8th note triplets, fermata, and into that new section, let's call that section A. Here we see G, G over F sharp, and E minor as we saw before. Now E minor with susses, A minor, ending 1, we repeat to the A minor, ending 2, exactly like ending 1 except we do the hammer-on string 4 twice. Repeat back up to A minor again, G over F sharp, ending 2, which is also ending 3, back up one more time, and now we're on ending 4. We run up the A minor chord, hit this open B note, which is anticipating the G chord, so let go of the chord as you move to the G. You're anticipating A minor in the next section. So here is this section one more time. And now we're into the next section. We'll have a look at that. So on the 4th ending, we ran out of the A minor. Open B allowed us to get into G. Back to the C note, which puts us in another A minor. Here's this same idea we've talked about before and saw earlier. A minor to G over B to C. We saw it earlier in the 8th note triplet section, wrapping up the end of the introduction. Now here we see it again. Let go of chords when you can. We're on an A minor. Probably I only place the A note here, the 2. When I hit this open E, I'm using that as an opportunity to move into my G over B. When I hit the open G, I'm using that to move into C. So here we have C, beat 1, the pinch, 2 and add the sus2 here with the pinky on the D note. Hit an A minor chord and pull the middle finger off the 4th string. Put it back on for the end of the bar. And this bar is technically an E chord. As we saw wrapping up the introduction, this E chord has C notes in it. This creates a nice tension. It's like a sharp 5 or a flat 6 against the chord, which moves us forward into A minors, or here, the other subdominant, the F. So here again, coming out of ending 4, A minor, G, onto the A minor, G over B, C, A minor with the pull off, and then we're going to move into the F. This idea, A minor, G, A minor, G over B, make sure you're getting comfortable with, isolate it, memorize it as a separate thing. Mentally you want to know A minor to G, A minor to G over B to C. We're going to see this more in the song again. So A minor to G to A minor to G over B, C. When you place this C, it looks like you should do your pointer finger. Over many trials I found out I can't. The next thing I need is this F bar chord. So when I put the second C on, I'm going to use my bar anticipating the F. Always look for that. Look for these anticipations creating the next chord. We've seen it a few times. As we got out of ending 4, we're hitting a G chord with a C note. The C note tells us we're in A minor. This open G is used to get to a C chord. This E note now is in an E chord. Let go, put the bar on, and hit your F bar chord. Here, let's check out the C. 1, 2, and A, E bar, F, A minor. Oh, cool, look what we see here. The A minor, almost identical to what we saw coming out of ending 4. The only difference here is we're starting with a pinch coming off this E minor. A minor, G, A minor, G over B and C. So A minor, G over B, twice here. The difference being this time, on this A minor, we hit the top string. On this one, we hit the second string. Does the composer even do that on purpose? Couldn't say for sure. It's on the recording, the guy transcribing it picked it out, so we're going to do it as well. One last time, ending 4, A minor, C, F, A minor, the idea we've been hearing this 3 and 3 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 to fill up your eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a very country kind of move, baba da baba da baba, eighth notes that sound like triplets. Here they're actually going to play 6/8, so we don't end the run of 3 over 2s. So C, roll into this bar for F, pluck the same strings. When you're learning a tab, you may not notice those things. When you're trying to memorize it, it really helps to go, oh, this C and this F over A have the exact same right hand fingering. So learn that. The D chord has the 5 and the 3. I'm sliding my pointer to the 3 and adding the pinky for the 5. The thumb hits the 4th string instead of 5th, otherwise the picking's the same. C, F over A, D, and then a G chord. Your pinky's been at the 5, you slide it back to the 3 for a Green Day G. So C, F, D, G, and then we have a new section. Let's pick it up one more time from where we walk into the F, off that E. run up this E. Check out, we're going to have a DS somewhere that sends us back to this section. So this will be a repeated area. I found this very hard. I had to memorize it to be able to look away from my music to my hands to get this one. And we'll catch all that next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye for now.